Hello everyone. So today I wanted to talk to you about how to improve your intuition. So how to connect to your higher self in a better way. So first of all, I wanted to explain to you the different sources of spiritual guidance. So you have your spirit guides. So when you're born, you attract a spirit guide at birth. And then every 2 years, you attract another one, so up to four, five, six, up to teenagehood. When you get into adulthood, you have all your guides, and they're really there to help you being more autonomous in your life. Um, yeah, to become an adult, really. So, and then of course they stay with you during your whole lifetime on Earth. So you can connect with your spirit guides. You can connect with deceased family members that you feel really drawn to and close to. They are in the light, and then you connect to them. You can connect to angels, archangels, and also ascended masters. So, such as Jesus Christ, Saint Germain, the Virgin Mary, Maria Magdalena, Buddha, Ganesh, all those ascended masters. And they they're like a bridge, between your frequencies here on Earth and higher frequencies from the Christ energy. So they really that we have that capacity to actually be close to human beings and being also in that Christ energy from higher dimensions. So they really, can help you connect more easily to higher dimensions and to that, Christ energy. So then it's up to you, to which source you connect. You can, of course, connect directly to God, to that Christ energy directly. It really depends on your belief system and what you feel drawn to, what actually energy or archetype really helps you connect to the spiritual world. Then it's up to you. But saying that, it's really important to connect to the right source of Christ energy. You don't want to connect to lower vibrations, to negative entities from the spiritual world. So you really want to connect to that right source of energy, that Christ energy. And so to do that, it's really necessary to actually be in the right space of mind. So what do you do for that? You usually connect early in the morning or before going to bed, before going to sleep, when you're more connected to the spiritual world. And also, you make regular rituals, you follow regular rituals, to really practice that connection to the spiritual world. And then you will really use your discernment to know, you will really know what you connect to more easily. And of course, it's really important to be grounded because the earth energy is going to help you be connected to that right source of energy, for protection, and also transmute that Christ energy, sorry, through your body. And that's how you're going to receive really tangible messages, that really are going to help you in your day-to-day life. Because what's the purpose of that connection to the spirit world is, of course, to help you with the choices that you make in your everyday life to be more aligned to your soul and to really evolve in the right direction for you in a positive way. So that's why you actually ask for guidance. That's why you seek that spiritual guidance. So you don't want to, connect to the spiritual world to actually escape from your physical reality. You really want to be fully present in the present moment. And that connection helps you to actually make the right choices for you to be having the best experience on earth. So then, the second element that's really important. So I told you that you need to know to which source of spirituality you're connecting to. Um, you need to practice regularly and to do those rituals at a convenient time when you're not distracted, by outside noise or energies or people. Being really in a quiet state of mind, peaceful state of mind. Then you need to be grounded as much as possible to be able to receive, to actually read those messages and understand them so that they're really, tangible for you and then you can really actually use them in your everyday life. And then the other element to really take into account is that you need to be specific with your intention or your questions. So when you connect to the spiritual world and you're wanting some guidance, you need to really connect to a specific question or intention and one thing at a time. So why that? Because then it's easier to actually use those messages in your life. And then you're going to build that trust and that connection. So, for instance, you ask for a specific question and then you receive an answer. You're going to wait for those signs. So either you are more clairvoyant, so you're going to receive some, visual signs, or you're more clairaudient, so it's going to be, through sounds, through music, um, through the radio, or people talking to you, through other people. You're going to, receive. You're going to see then what is the sense that is the most accurate for you, and that you actually are drawn to naturally, and you're going to develop that communication with your guidance. So either visual or it can be audio, or it can be through your body, having goosebumps and it's right for you, or it's just also clear cognizance. You just know it's right, it's true for you. And of course, you're going to have synchronicity. So what is a synchronicity? Is when something specific happens to you that really resonates with your specific intention or situation. And it really talks to you, through numbers you see, or for instance, I have this story, this personal story that has happened to me. I was in another country wanting to sell my flat, but I wasn't sure if it was a good time to sell it or not. And yeah, I really didn't know if I was still going to rent it out or if I was going to sell it. And I asked for guidance, and I'm very visual. And as I was driving, just after asking that specific questioned to my guidance, I just let go. That's how you do it. Then you just leave it, and you just do whatever you're doing in your day. You don't want to be in your brain thinking about it all the time. That's not how it works. You just show that you trust your guidance, and that you want to be, once you actually have asked for something, you need to be then in the receptive mode, and you can't be receiving any message, or you can't be receptive to any message, visual or um, internal through your body or anything. You can't be ready to receive if you're still thinking and thinking about it in your head. So that's the also a really important step, is actually to let go once you have done that connection and ask for guidance. So that's what I did. I carried on with my everyday stuff, and I was driving, and at the the lights, I just stopped, and in front of me, the car, on the plate, it said, "Sell it, sell it." And I was just, kind of daydreaming. I was like, okay, okay, I get it. So that's an example of synchronicity, and how you develop that trust with your guidance, and you just know, and it feels good inside of you. It feels exciting, when you do that connection. You're not in fear of anything. That's why it's really important to be in the right state of mind when you do that connection. You don't want to be connecting to lower frequencies of fear, anxiety, pressure, because otherwise you're not going to have the right guidance coming from the right sources for you. So that's another thing. And then finally, I really wanted to insist as well. Sorry about that. That excitement that you're going to have, but also you might have some resistance around that guidance. Maybe your ego, your mind is not ready for that answer, is going to fight it, and you might have some fears coming up because it's uncomfortable for you, because it's if you follow through that guidance, you're really getting out of your comfort zone. So that's what I see during my sessions, in the Akashic records. It's easier, of course, to receive that guidance through, spiritual coaches or therapists, or other people, because they can really coach you to actually follow through with actions, and really kind of, regularly help you with that connection, to the spiritual world, and with the actions that are aligned to your soul, to your higher self. So all of that is not always easy to do on your own. It's good to practice that connection, that's for sure. You can have a journal, and it's really positive to have that connection yourself, directly. But then to actually put in place those actions after receiving guidance, it's not an easy thing to do by yourself, because you might have a lot of resistance, doing it. You have different ways of doing it, depending on each person. Some people going to make changes, really small little changes, one step at a time, not getting out too much of their comfort zone, but just, tiny, tiny changes. But then they're going to really stick to it in the long term, and it's going to be more sustainable. Whereas other people might, have more facility, more ease to make big changes, but maybe they're going to make a big change, and then it's going to be a bit more difficult for them to keep that new situation and make it last, make it more sustainable. So that's when you want maybe you want to see a coach or a therapist to actually help you implement those actions, those changes, and make them last as well in the long term. And yeah, finally, I don't want this video to be too long, but finally, what I wanted to add is that we often talk about protection. Um, so you have that grounding that's really important to actually, protect yourself from any. When you connect to the spiritual world, you want to connect to the source of light, Christ energy. That's really, really important. So grounding is really good for that protection, but also connecting to your heart center. That's really, really, I think the main thing is to connect to your heart because your heart energy is going to, it's really the center point between that connection to the spiritual world, the earth, and also your masculine and feminine sides. It's really the point of center, the balance between those different energies that are that can be polarized and can be opposite but complementary at the same time. They complete each other. And so your heart is like, has got that intelligence, I would say, more than your brain, to to know exactly what is the right balance between all those different energies, you know. And so, yeah, your heart has got that wisdom, and also being your heart energy, you're going to have that electromagnetic field that is going to protect you from electromagnetic fields from the outside environment, and like being in a cocoon, really. And also, it's really important that your electromagnetic field from your heart is bigger than the one from your brain. And then in that space, you can really let go of any, thoughts and anxiety and all of that overthinking that gets in the way of receiving clear guidance. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to finish with that point. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, either comment under the video or contact me by email. You can also book a session with me if you want to connect to your Akashic records and have a better connection to your higher self. I will do another video on that, on how I do sessions with your Akashic records, and how clearing any blocks and restrictions that are personal, genetic, transgenerational, or karmic from past lives or whatever. when when we clear those blocks and restrictions, the connection to your higher self is going to be much easier, much clearer, and yeah, more efficient, because you won't have all that negative programming that can prevent also a good connection to your higher self. Okay, so that's it for now, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.